You're as cruel as you are useless. I don't think you should have said that. Hello, beautifuls. This is Aromie here, and welcome back to Mystic Destinies Serendipity of Aeons. We are here. It's been a hot minute since I recorded. I believe the last recording was on August 7th, so that's a long time ago. It's currently August 24th when I'm recording, which is Arya's birthday, and the BTS come back. It's a beautiful day. But anyway, let's get to it. I stare out the window at the moving scenery, and my thoughts keep turning back to the carnage I saw. Seeing Takumi get shot right in front of me. That happened. I can't stop myself from replaying that image in my mind over and over again. Yo, that is so traumatic to see. The image of him just... I should also put my phone on silent. The image of him just lying there, completely motionless in a pool of blood. His blood. And... when we got here, Hikaru had only grimly stared down at Takumi for a moment before getting to work. I half considered just telling him everything about my mission now so I can get out of here, but... oh, look at him! One look at Takumi stops me in my tracks. We're not just gonna up and leave. I would want to see if he's okay before I up and leave out of this girl's body. No, I can't. I brought this mess upon this timeline and I need to be the one to fix it. Exactly. You can just up and leave. What the heck? Professor, do you think you can really help Takumi? There's so much blood. Is he alive still after losing so much? Hikaru turns to me with a sad smile, but he never stops his work. Not even for a second. You may not know this, but I'm pretty proud of my skills. I'm one of the best healers in Japan. I brought people back from near death. Hell, maybe I could even bring someone back from the dead. Hikaru grows quiet. If I tried hard enough. Thinking of Takumi as dead, it leaves me feeling cold. Although we hadn't spent much time together lately, I had managed to catch up with my childhood friend, somewhere between the endless lessons that Hikaru was putting me through. I fight back the tears at the memory of my old friend, back when he was still much shorter than me. You better make it, you shrimp! I focus back on Hikaru. Can I help at all? Even though my healing isn't that good, maybe there's something. Hikaru shakes his head. Healers have to be experienced with working together, or they'll just get in the way of each other. Please just trust me instead. I stand in the doorway watching. I did decide to have faith in Hikaru's abilities, especially since I know he is half god. That should count for something, right? If anyone can do it, it's Hikaru. I look at Takumi's body on the floor, drenched and surrounded by a pool of his own blood, so pale now. I feel my heart sink. I watch like a hawk to make sure his chest continues to rise and fall, but I can't actually tell anymore. There's a steady stream of blood leaking out of his mouth, and I desperately want to do something about it. There's no way he's gonna die on this route, right? You guys, I am so traumatized from shows route that Hikaru's face is as severe as ever as his hands glow, lying upon Takumi's chest. I glance at Aurelia. She seems to simply be staring blankly at Takumi with no life in her eyes. I look back at Takumi's unconscious form. He looks so cold, so dead. Why does he look so dead? He's alive, right? He's fine, right? He's going to be fine, right? Seconds stretch into minutes that feel like hours with no change except sweat beading and dropping from Hikaru's forehead. I stand there, shaking, unable to sit or move or do anything myself. Finally, Hikaru stands up. I want to move toward him, but I can't bear to cross Takumi. Instead of meeting anyone's eyes, he looks out the window and shakes his head. He's not dead, right? In a barely audible whisper, he says the two words I didn't want to hear. I'm sorry. He's dead? I'm ruining every route. I'm ruining every route. I think every single route, all of the guys are dying. That's it. That's all that's said, and the room grows completely silent. I was staying quiet. The silence seems to intensify until it's nearly deafening, yet no one makes a move or makes a sound. My arms, I have goosebumps. Not down for this already. It's only been, what, 4 minutes in? My mind is blank. My eyes just fall on Takumi's deathly pale body and the never-ending stream of blood coming from it. I look at the small winged woman, almost expecting her to be able to do something, as if she can, an actual denizen of this timeline denying it would somehow make the truth less real, but she doesn't say anything. She immediately stands up and walks over to Takumi's body. She kneels by his side, uncaring about the blood. She takes his pale hand in her dark one and simply bows her head. I look at Hikaru, who doesn't even glance back at Takumi's body as he moves past me. I don't turn around to see where he's going. I hear the door close behind me. Barely anything changes in the room. Not Aurelia's position, and not Takumi's. Not ever again. The only thing that does change is that small drop of water fall from Aurelia's hidden face. Covered by her hair, they fall and intermix with the blood on the floor. That's when something snaps. Something snaps in me. Something breaks and I can't take it anymore. Can't take being in this room anymore. I spin around on my heel and head to the door, throwing it open. I stop outside in the hallway. He said he'd save him. He said to trust him. But she is going mad right now. But to be honest, I don't think Hikaru could have saved him with that much blood pouring out. I can barely contain my anger. I want to scream and punch something, someone. I'm going to find him. I storm down the hallway. I don't have to go far before I find Hikaru himself. I almost bypass him entirely. There's a huddled figure hiding in the shadows of Aurelia's building when I come out and pay no mind to it. Until I hear a choked back sob rip through the night. I stop and look back. Hikaru? Of course he's gonna cry! Look at him! Don't make him cry. He tried his hardest and he couldn't. I think this is what's happening with all the other timelines, where he's trying his best to save everyone, but it's not working out and they're just all dying. Hikaru looks up and I see that the pitiful form is in fact him squatting down. He's holding himself in his arms, uncaring of his leather coat dragging on the wet ground. He looks away, seemingly ashamed, but doesn't change positions. Shit. What am I gonna pick? Brava? Brava, you're making a lot of noise, little girl. You said I could trust you. You promised. Why? 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 Why did Takumi have to die? I don't know. Could he have been saved if we got there quicker, or what? What could have possibly been done to save him? I don't know. I never know. Then what do you know? All the anger I felt vanishes from my heart, leaving only the immense pain. It feels as if it's caught in a vice, slowly getting crushed. I turn and plop myself down on the ground next to the crouching man. Thankfully, no one actually pays us any mind. Tears flow down my face before I even fully realize it. You said that you would save him. I whisper weakly. My voice cracks under the weight of tears. Hikaru doesn't answer this time. He doesn't have to. We remain like this in silence for a while until he eventually begins to speak. It's time like this that I remember I'm human too. I hold such limited power. I don't know what to say or how to comfort him. I still can't entirely get over or even accept the fact that he seems so emotionally shaken as well. What do you mean you can't get over the fact that he's emotionally shaken? Like, Takumi was also Takumi, right? Yeah, Takumi is also someone important to him. Like, of course he's hurt. Is he acting? No, why would he be? Not after leaving like that. Why would you think that? He cares for Takumi. This isn't the first time it's happened that it fails to save someone. I always hope it'll be the last, but I'm so sorry. I've hurt you more than necessary by giving you false hope, because I was overconfident. I'll remember just how weak I really am from now on. I'll pay penance, however I can, for this sin and others. I sense Hikaru's deep pain, but I don't feel like I can do anything to remotely touch it. However, Hikaru, it wasn't your fault. It's not your sin. I take out Haruka's earring and show it to him. Where did you get that? I nod. If this is anyone's fault, it's mine. I came here to try to save you, but Tsuneka followed me. She took advantage of the situation of the chaos. She's the one who shot Takumi. If it's anyone's sin, it's mine for coming here knowing I would bring chaos in my wake. Hikaru says nothing. He merely takes the earring out of my hand and gently strokes it with his thumb. Then maybe Takumi was the one who was punished because of pride we both held. Still, it was Tsuneka who pulled the trigger. She's the one who needs to pay for all of this. I agree, but I don't know if I can do anything. I'm not powerful enough to stop a god. But you're not alone in this, are you? You have Galen on your side and my mother. And the other Hikarus across the timeline too. If there's any way to set this right, promise me that you will. Hikaru nods his head, closes his eyes, and places his hand over his chest, repeating what previous Hikaru had done. As the soul fragment appears, so does the box Galen had given me, and I quickly secure the fragment. Looking into Hikaru's sparkling yet intense eyes, I feel my own resolve strengthen too. I nod, numbing the pain inside for now. I focus on this growing feeling inside me, this determination to set things. With my task accomplished, I stand up. I then extend my hand to Hikaru, who looks at me wide-eyed. He assesses my hand without comment, and I help him up to his feet. If there's a way, I'll find it, no matter how long it takes. In the meantime, please don't lose hope. When everything's set right again, we'll let you know. Hikaru, am I gonna is everything here in these timelines I've been jumping through are gonna just quickly rewind once we fix the Hikaru in our timeline? Or is this just where it's gonna be left off? Hikaru merely nods, and I look up at the sky. I'm not sure where the two gods are watching me from, but I find myself drawn to the moon. I feel the familiar tug on my soul, but even as I'm being pulled back into Galen's realm, I can't stop my thoughts. Isn't it just my own pride that caused all this, that killed Takumi? Isn't it just vanity that makes me think I have a right to risk lives? No, entire worlds, to save someone just because I owe them? Or just why am I really doing all this anyway? I don't know. I feel like we're being punished because we're ruining every single timeline we're going through, and I don't feel completely right about that. In a blink, I'm back in my body again. The numbness from the other world follows me here. My eyes are trained at the floor beneath me, but when I look up, my eyes fall on Galen. He only stares evenly back at me. I feel like I've got some questions for the god, alright? I approach him with that goal. I don't think he can help. Beg him to help? Ask if he can help? Yell at him for not helping? I don't think I should be yelling at him. I don't like any of these choices. Because I feel like I feel like all these choices, he's not going to be able to help us. Can we ask? But I think in her emotional state, she might be begging, so. Galen, yes? Please, can you please help Takumi? Can't you bring him back? Please, you have all this power. You even brought me back to existence, so you must be able to. Please? He sighs. I do have the power to, certainly, but I will not bring him back. His declaration feels like a stab to the heart. What? But why? Because he may not be Takumi anymore. No, but what about all the people who lost him? Who lost him because of me? Galen tilts his head. This is not something I will do, so do not ask anymore. Fuck. I have the option to give up or try to change his mind. He said he won't come back to who he will be. To be honest, if we're trying to be talking realistically, Takumi might come back like the dark show, where it's not actually show anymore and it's someone different. But I'm sure some of you don't want me to just give up so quickly about it. In my head, I'm just hoping that if I fix the Hikaru on my timeline, everything will be fixed in all the other timelines. Reverted back. But let's just see what the two options are. Let's see what happens if we try to change his mind. Unhappy with the god's answer, I feel a white, hot anger take over my whole body. I get close to Galen and point a finger up at his face. Sounds like a little bullshit to me. Either you're an almighty powerful god or you're a total fraud. Or maybe you don't really care about anyone but your fucking self anyway. Okay, she sounds really angry here. Oh no, Michiko, please. Haruka starts wringing her hands. Please calm down. I refuse to. I'm tired of going through all this shit while he sits up here in his little safe place. Galen's going through a lot. He could fix it all with the snap of his fingers, couldn't he? But I'm sure he has to risk something. You have to give something to get something. But instead, people like Takumi and Hikaru have to suffer. Haruka walks up to me and places her hands on my arms, trying to gently drag me out of Galen's face. I understand you're upset, but please, I urge you to stop. Galen is usually as patient as he is powerful, but most any god would get upset with the level of disrespect you're giving him right now. Why should I respect anyone who would sit by when he could be helping people instead? I get up right in Galen's face. You're as cruel as you are useless. I don't think you should have said that. Michiko, no! Galen leans down to get a closer look at me, and for the first time since he dragged me out of nowhere, I start to feel like I might choke. It's like the air around us becomes so heavy that I can barely stand. Cruel am I? Yeah, we're not going through this route. We're just dying there. Just asking for a death sentence there. I'm just gonna give up because I don't want him to bring Takumi back into someone he's not gonna be. Ugh, I can't say that I agree with you. I admit that I don't want to, but I sigh. I realize that there's probably a million things I don't know, so I will drop this matter for now. Thank you for understanding. Yeah, I was gonna choose to give up to begin with, because I don't think the Takumi that he's bringing back will be good anyway. Since that's settled, we can move on. Wow, I could have died in the other route or something. Alright, well, we're gonna go with the Cosmos of Dragon now. But I'm not gonna read anything, because this is where we're gonna stop for today's episode. I believe we're nearly finishing chapter 1. I think. I don't know. If I assume that if we finish all these 4 Cosmos of whatever, and that'll be chapter 1, maybe, who knows. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
처음엔 아무 느낌 없었는데 매일 지겹대면서